Hi, my name is Lee Kuhn, and this here horse here with me, this is Paige. She is a 7-year-old foundation quarter horse mare with a few issues. She's a little bit stiff, not very soft in the bridle, not real fond of leg cues. I think somebody might have rode her at one time with spurs on, or broke her out maybe with spurs, I don't know. Either way, you put legs on her and she tries to either reach around and bite you or buck you off. And so I've had a lot of people ask me, a lot of my students ask me, you know, this dressage stuff, what's in it for me? What's in it for my horse? And people see dressage as the people in the fancy pants and the fancy outfits riding around in the show ring, and they wonder, you know, they've heard about the physical benefits to the horse, but they're just not seeing it because all they're seeing is the show aspect. So I'm here to show you what this can do for your horse. And proper dressage training done by the old masters started on the ground. The Lipizzaners are trained, all their maneuvers start on the ground. And so the best place to start on the ground with dressage training, because it's easier for the horse to learn to balance without carrying your weight. And so once they learn all the maneuvers on the ground, then doing them with you on their back is much easier, and they already have the physical benefit. Plus, when you gain control of your horse's body, you gain control of their mind. And who wouldn't want that? And so, anyway, so what the first exercise we're going to do here today, we did this a little bit yesterday, and I tried to get my camera to work and it couldn't. I'm a horse trainer, not a technical genius, sorry. And pardon the gear, it's about 10 degrees out here today. The first exercise we're going to do is called a shoulder out. And some of you who may know dressage, I'm going to use this stick as the fence, is that if my hand is the horse, a shoulder out has the horse's head at the tip of my fingers, and their body is bent in this direction, and they move along the fence this way. The shoulder out, we're going to put her nose to the fence, and we're going to move her in this direction. It might look very similar to a leg yield, and in essence it very similarly is. And so, but anyway, it's the start of how to teach her to respond to leg cues, and she's very slowly going to learn to bend her body, relax, and soften. You'll notice when that happens, when she softens and relaxes, her feet will start to get into cadence, and she'll have a better rhythm. She's learning how to dance. Those of us who don't know how to dance, myself included, we're not very rhythmical, and we're definitely not very smooth. And so, but when we want our horse to learn how to dance, it really comes through. You'll hear people talk about throughness. That throughness is her whole body working as one unit, not kind of a disjointed back end, front end with stiff parts in the middle. And so, anyway, I get started always with the horse's right eye looking at me. They have done studies to determine that horses are right brain, left brain, the same way that people are, is that their right brain is the emotional, can be the spooky, reactionary side. The left brain is more of the logical, it's the thinking side of her brain. And so anytime I start something new, I always start on their right side with them looking at me with their right eye so that I'm talking to their left brain. 90% of the time I get a much better response than had I started out on the other side, even though they're used to us being on the other side. They're used to that because it's tradition, it's where we stand, so they get used to us being over there. But any new things, I like this eye to look at it first. And so anyway, we're going to get started because it is cold, and I'm going to work her, do the exercise down the long sides of the arena. On the short sides, we're going to just walk relaxed. I have got her understanding before this exercise starts that when I reach up with my stick and I tap her on top of the butt, she's to come forward. You always want good forward motion before you get the sideways motion, because we want her to step forward and sideways, crossing her legs. I hold the rein fairly close to her mouth because I want immediate control of her nose. If you hold a longer rein, then you don't have immediate control of her nose, and you may need to push her nose away from you down the fence to kind of get more forward, or you may need to pull her nose back towards you to slow her down a little bit so she's not rushing. And so I hold the rein fairly close to the bit. And again, I'm not worried about getting her uneven by doing all of one side. I'll work on this side until this side is good. Only when this side is good do I switch over to the other side. They learn much faster than getting it halfway there with a halfway understanding, switching over to the other side to get a halfway understanding. I found through my experience, work all on one side through this right eye, then switch over to the other side once this side is good. So anyway, we're going to get started. Where I'm going to tap on her with my stick is right at the girth. Good girl. Good. Good girl. Because when I get on her to ride her in this exercise, I'm going to use my leg at the girth. Good girl. To ask her to bend her shoulders and move her shoulders over. This is not a haunches in exercise. Come on, girl. Good girl. Yes. Yeah, girl. Good. You notice I talk to her a lot. I can praise her faster verbally than I can by patting her or touching her or giving her a treat. See how she's not very fluid yet? This mare is very stiff in her neck. She's been seen, good girl, she's been seen by the chiropractor. She was out in several places. Her neck, her back, her hips. So even for a horse who's young, who doesn't have a whole lot of riding under her belt, she get kind of stuck here. I'll just keep tapping with my stick. Good girl. When she goes a couple good fluid steps, we praise her and walk out of it. Good girl. Yes. I don't ask her this under saddle until she's really good at it on the ground. If you have a horse that's not paying attention to you, and you're not sure whether or not you're in charge, this is a good exercise. Come on. Yeah, the girl. Good. She tried there. This is a good exercise for getting yourself in charge because you are asking her to do something unnatural. To step sideways like this is unnatural for her. Not that she can't do it, it's just it's not something you're going to see her. Good girl. Good. It's not something you're going to see her prancing around in the pasture. We're going to give her a little treat there. Just put in an extra good try. But you won't see a horse prancing around in the pasture walking at an angle like this. I'm not too fussy about the angle in the beginning. The ideal shoulder in angle for a dressage horse is between 30 and 35 degrees. Come on. Right now she's probably closer to 45. Come on. Good girl. Good. Come on. Come on. If she gets really stuck, I'm going to move her forward. Start her again. Good girl. Come on. Good. Yes. Yes. Huh? Good girl. Good. Yes. Good. Yes. She's starting to get a little bit more together. Good girl. With her front and her back legs. She's still out of rhythm a little. Good girl. No, we're not going to go ride the tractor. you can get to where you pull too hard on your rein hand, and I know it's hard to see. I'm going to step back here just a little bit. I am just lightly holding the rein and guiding her nose. Good girl. Yes. If you're too close to your horse when you do this, you won't be able to use your stick effectively. And so you either need to get a little harder on the stick if they're not moving, like right there. Good girl. Yes. Yes. Good. Okay. Or you need to, usually the getting a little harder on the stick works pretty good, but a lot of people, they'll get on this exercise, and see, she already started to move for me without me having to tap on her. That's the idea, is as soon as you walk along over here to this long side and your horse starts to do the exercise, because they know what's expected of them. Come on. That's a girl. Good girl. Then they're understanding the exercise and they're wanting to do it. Good. As soon as she shows me she wants to do it, which is where she showed me she's at today, I'm going to stop for the day. You'll get to where your horse will actually find the physical benefit to this exercise for themselves. They'll find that dancing and moving like a dancer is a whole lot more comfortable than plodding along. And like I said, in the bend we're looking for in her body is not the flex around, to her side bend. It's just as if you were on her, and in the bend of a circle, you use enough rein to just be able to see her inside eye. That's all the bend we're looking for. You bend a horse too far, and it actually binds up their shoulders, because you're binding up their neck when you bend them too far, and then they can't move properly. People can have issues with this exercise if your right hand, which in my case I'm right hand dominant, is the stronger hand. You can pull too hard on that rein. So watch that your response out of your horse, that you're not messing them up, is that you want to try to time giving with your hand as you're walking along down the fence, giving with that rein hand every time their inside hind foot comes off the ground. Sometimes this gets easier to feel when you're in the saddle. But anyway, this is day 2 with Paige, actually. I did show her this a little bit yesterday for about 5 minutes. And so there hasn't been a lot of improvement between yesterday and today, so don't worry. But as the days go on, we're going to keep a video diary of this. You'll be able to see the physical benefit of dressage for yourself, and then maybe you'll want to contact an instructor and learn more about it and show it to your horse. Okay, good girl. Okay, thank you.